Look at this thing. I don't know what the hell. Must be from space. Did this fall from the sky?
I found it. There was a giant crop circle and this was sitting in the middle of it.
You guys might be wondering, what the hell? How did you guys get a Cybertruck? Well, hey everyone, we're up here at the bin site and we're getting ready to start corn harvest again. If you've been watching our journey of the 2024 harvest, you know that the first day we tried corn, it was too wet. We got a little bit done, we did all the headlands, so this field is completely open and ready to rock and roll. So today, we're gonna try corn again. We picked a little bit of corn over at David's yesterday and it was testing about 17% moisture, so a little more dry. We're hoping that our corn's probably the same or a little bit higher in moisture, but at the optimal level. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna fill up our drying bin and we're gonna run for a few hours today. You ready to seize the day today?
I'm ready to grab the carp.
Anything gonna break down or are you feeling optimistic?
It's up to her. I don't know. I think we can get some corn knocked out today. Hoping it's about 17 and we just fill and go until that whole 90's done.
All right, we're off like a herd of turtles getting started here. And if the corn's dry enough, if it's like 17%, we're gonna have a lot more corn to pick today because a lot of that will just transfer right over and it won't have to stay in the drying bin for very long at all. So we'll be able to knock out a lot. But if it's in that 22%, it'll take a little bit more time to dry. We'll get ahead of the dryer and it'll fill up quicker. We'll just see what it's testing on moisture and that'll really gauge how long we'll be able to go today. We'd really like to purchase a wet bin someday so that we could really just go a lot longer, because when you're here and you're in the mood and you're ready to go and it needs to be done, if we could just go as long as we possibly want to and just make it happen, wet bin would give us that capabilities. That's definitely on the radar for one of our next upgrades on the farm, is a wet bin for sure. We're picking corn. Woo! About time. I'm sick of doing beans. I get tired of doing beans. Glad that they're done. This is the fun part. This actually keeps you on your toes. A lot more to do, a lot more fun. So right now, we've been just kind of hopping around our cornfields. Luckily, our other cornfield's really close by, and we're just kind of hopping around and testing the moisture out to see where the best place to harvest is, because we want to harvest the driest corn first. They're relatively all kind of similar. We got 18, we got 19, we got 20. So we'll probably stay where it's about 18.5% moisture and work our way. So that's kind of the plan, but just been kind of hopping around here. The fun is really about to begin.
Well, we must be suffering the consequences of high quality pig manure. This field here is 19.9, the north side of this meat field. The south side was 18.8. I don't know where to find any drier corn. That other field was over 20. So I guess we keep working on this, depend on the warm weather to help the dryer run. But that's going to slow us down. I don't think we're going to be able to get quite as much done today. So I guess we'll go ahead, keep going, pick enough to fill the dryer up and let her circulate flow all night.
How we doing?
The blind is leading the blind.
What's that saying?
Officially, 22.
What was it saying in your combine?
19.4. But now it says 20. It's the blind leading the blind right now.
Yeah. What's the yield look like?
Well, that's another thing I think we need to do too, is
Calibrate it.
Calibrate. 43 on the load today. Field is 218. I didn't know where I was when I started, and it's going off with what it was then.
All right, well, you heard David there, blind leading the blind right now. Sensors are off. Combine's telling him one thing. His handheld moisture tester's telling him another. It's kind of a shit show right now. Nothing's telling us what our true moisture is, what our true yield is. So we're going to do another yield test where I'm gonna get the grain cart completely empty. I'm going to reset the scale to zero it out, and I'm gonna just stay still while David picks everything, fills up the grain cart, and then we'll get a true accurate weight on what are we actually yielding. 2 out of the 3 things that we're determining our moisture on are relatively close. The bin, it's not drying new corn yet, so we really don't know exactly what it's telling Dad at the bin site. But as soon as the new corn is transferring over, then it'll start telling us kind of where the moisture's at on it. Fun. Never goes as planned. That's what makes it fun. So I'm gonna go unload, and then David's gonna dump on this grain cart, and we'll zero it out and get a true test on what the yield is. I got a little bit ambitious this go around. Made my first grain cart mistake. Got just a little too ambitious on the wagon fill. A little bit spilled over. So when you're going from beans to corn, there's a little bit of difference just how fast it fills and just how it kind of lays. So I just got a little ambitious. I got to get used to the corn, but it happens. Still a rookie. I'd say I'm an amateur grain cart driver. I'm sure there's guys miles and miles ahead of me, but we're getting there. Well, we're gonna have her stay put. Scale zeroed out. David dumped once on it. He's gonna come back, dump on it again, maybe even a 3rd time, and that'll tell us where our true yield is. Give us a real accurate representation of that. So I'm just gonna hang out and wait till then. I was just looking at the trash on the field and seeing how it was laying out. It's not what you guys think. I was just checking. A lot of trash, just, you know, I was just making sure none of this was building up too bad. So it's not what you think. Thank you. Love you. What an awesome fiance she is. Bringing me leftover Texas Roadhouse in the tractor. Can't beat that. All I need now is a little bit of time to watch some college football because it's Saturday, but I don't know if I'll have any downtime now that we're running. Shout out to my lovely fiance Kat for bringing me lunch in the tractor. Oh, look at that. See, I told you she's the best. Bomb.com. We got some steak, some prime rib, a dinner roll, some mashed potatoes with some rice, and that good old cinnamon butter from Texas Roadhouse. I mean, come on. That's like prime time lunch in the tractor, if you ask me. Hopefully I don't go in a food coma afterwards. Watch me absolutely demolish this plate of food in the fastest possible way I can before I have to go dump a load.
Down to the river.
All right. right, folks, we're getting close to wrapping it up here. The drying bin is getting full. We're putting about 6,000 bushels in there. And since the corn's at that 19-20%, you know, it's just not transferring over as fast as, like, let's say 16-17% moisture corn would be, you know, because that would transfer over really fast into our big bin. But since it's going to take a little more time to dry, you know, we're just going to have to fill up the drying bin to a certain capacity and then call it quits for the night until the dryer picks up and transfers everything over. So we've done probably 35 to 40 acres, maybe even a little more than that. Yield's been pretty good so far ever since we made that calibration. Our average yield for this field's been 240, so pretty good, but that was when we really hadn't opened everything up yet. So I'd be curious to know what it is now, that since we've been kind of going for a while.
All right, gang, last pass for the day. Loaded up full. Still seeing some pretty big numbers here. Once we recalibrated, got a little farther south, we got into some better corn. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. We got, I'd say we got at least 30 acres done before we ran out of dryer space. I'm gonna fill Sawyer up one more time, top him off. I think by the time I get to the end over there on the east, I'll have just enough to fill them.
Well, that's gonna call it a day. Bin's full, grain cart's full, wagon's full. They're down there at the bin site. So we're gonna head home. And this beauty here, look at this thing. I don't know what the hell. Must be from space. Did this fall from the sky?
I found it. There was a giant crop circle and this was sitting in the middle of it.
You guys might be wondering, what the hell? How did you guys get a Cybertruck? Well, we'll let you guys know all about how we got it, but that's what we'll just leave you with for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.